Alright, so next thing we're going to do is put some windows in. So if we take a look at our Windows schedule, most of our windows are casement, right? And they're 2 foot by 7 foot, right? We do have a few that are not 2 foot by 7 foot. Here's a 4 foot by 2 foot, right? But we're just going to go start out with a 2 foot by 7 foot. So we'll do 8, 9, and 10, right? We'll put those guys in. So I'll minimize that. So if I go to my architecture and my window command, right? So my architecture tab, and then I go over to window, it'll open up the basic windows. You may have different ones. This is my template, but there's like a fixed window and a casement double in there too. We just want a single casement, and I don't see one there, so I'm just going to go to load family, and it will bring up, and we want to go to the Imperial Library default and scroll down to Windows, and you're going to see a series of windows, and if you scroll down you'll see a bunch of casements. So you can scroll through and look at the different kind of casements that they have, right? And I'm just going to pick the single left. It's got a lot of trim on it that we don't want, but we'll sort of deal with that when we get it in there. And if I click open, it's going to give me a type catalog, and I'm just going to pick the tallest 2 foot one, which is a 24 by 65, and click OK. And it's going to bring that guy in. You're going to notice that it's not the size that we want, so I'm going to go to edit type, and we can duplicate this or we can just rename it. We're not going to use this one, so I'm just going to come in and rename it to 24 by 84, so 2 by 7. And then if you come in right now, you can come in and see it has exterior frame material. There's the width. We want to change the height to 7 feet, right? And you can sort of look through and see what all of the settings are. You can set the default sill height to 2 if you want to do that, and click OK, right? And now it wants to start placing it, so I'm just going to go to my top of slab, which is going to kill the window command, and then I'll just go back to architecture and window again, and it'll load up that next window. And I'll go down to my 8, 9, and 10, and all I'm going to do, right, is pop this window in. Now the casement wants to open to the outside, so depending on which way you have your cursor in the wall, it will do inside or outside. So I'll just left click, I'll place a window. Here's another window here, here's another window here, right? And so it's yelling at me for that one because it overlaps a wall, right? So basically, if I go to the align command, this window wants to align, I think, with that wall. So we'll just put it in there, and we'll do the same thing for this one. We can always update them later. All right, so let's go to our 3D view, take a look at those windows, and I'm going to pick each one of these windows. I'm going to set the sill height to 2 feet, right? And a couple of things. I don't want the exterior trim visible, so I'm going to remove those, right? So now I've got rid of that, and I would like to get rid of these muttons, right? So if I go to edit type, mutton visibility, no, and get rid of that check, and then if I hit apply, right, that's a lot closer. I could come in and change the material application to various things if I wanted to, but those are pretty close to what I want. We can always go in and adjust them later. So let's go back to our, right, so 8, 9, and 10 were all 2 foot by 7 foot. And then we've got a few more, like, there's a couple of 2 by 7s, the 5 and the 6, right? So we could go ahead and do those. We'll look for number 2, and we can do the 4 by 2, right? So number 2 is, see if we can find number 2. There's 6. So if I wanted to do 6, I could, create similar, and if it's the same one, I can just pop that guy in there, right? I don't know what 5 is, but we can just pop one in there and change it later if we need to. 3A is a storefront. I don't know where 2 is. You guys will have to find it and place it. But basically all you have to do is create a new window type, right, and change the size of it and place it in. So go ahead and place all your windows in, and when we come back we'll put in a ceiling.